Good morning. 7th grade, we're ready to get started. I'd first like to thank our 7th grade students, our staff, teachers, and guests. Today we are recognizing students for their performance academically, socially, and for attendance within quarters 3 and 4, and the year as a whole. In addition to the students we recognize at their seats, there will be various other awards where select students qualified and or were chosen based upon their academic and leadership qualities and traits. I will start the ceremony by awarding the top students who received the most Bulldogs Care tickets within the grade level. Excuse me. This new program we started and implemented this school year has been a huge success. And we see our students doing well, making good choices, and growing within the parameters of CARE, which stands for C, commitment, A, attitude, R, respect, and E, excellence. As a reminder, weekly, each teacher or staff member hands out a Bulldogs Care ticket to a student who's exhibited the CARE attributes. And today we are going to recognize the students who received the most tickets throughout quarters 3 and 4. It is such an honor to call these students up for recognition, and along with their certificate, each student will be receiving a gift card. Let's hold our applause until the students come up on stage. At this time, would the following students please come up? Madeline Rudisil, Thomas Lawyer, Lillian Hess, Haley Buderbaugh, and last but not least, Andrew Bream. Let's give these students a round of applause. Before I hand the podium over to Mr. Fry, I want to take this time to thank all of you for an outstanding school year. I look forward to all of you stepping up into the role as leaders within this building next school year, and I want to wish all of you an amazing summer. At this time, I'm going to hand the podium over to Mr. Fry, who's going to recognize students for their attendance.
All right, I'll first recognize attendance for the 3rd and 4th market period. These students were here from bell to bell every day, the 3rd and 4th market period. If they could stand at their seats, they're going to get a certificate in their homeroom if they haven't already. It's been placed in the homeroom teacher's mailbox. So, would Peyton Hammond, Charles Saporito, Chase Wickard, and Jacqueline Wright please stand? Give them a round of applause. And then, for the whole year, we had one student, and this is very hard to do. We had one student in 7th grade who was here the entire year, from every single day, did not leave early for anything, did not come late for anything. They were here for every single thing that happened, and that is Chase Wickard. Chase Wickard, come up on stage, please. Now I want to call Mrs. Folker and Mrs. Craig to give some academic awards.
Good morning. At this time, we would like to recognize students who have earned honors and distinguished honors for the third and for the fourth marking period. Quiet down, students. In order to attend honors, students must earn a B or higher in all subjects, both core and non-core, your elective courses. At this time, would all students who earned honors for the third or the fourth marking period please stand at your seat and be recognized? You will see your names on the slides. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, students. You may be seated. In order to achieve distinguished honors, students must earn an A in all subjects. At this time, would students who earn distinguished honors for third or fourth marking period please stand at your seat and be recognized? Next, we would like to give special recognition to those students who earned distinguished honors for the entire year. In other words, you have A's in, ladies and gentlemen, these students earned an A in every subject for every marking period for the entire year. Mrs. Craig is going to call your names to the stage. I would also ask Mrs. Thumma, if you don't mind coming up, and Mr. Landis, our 7th grade team leaders, are going to help hand out certificates. We'd also ask if you would hold your applause until the end, please.
All right, students, when I call your name, please come up to the far end of the stage. Ben Bilbrey, Josie Charnowski, Lillian Franklin, Haley Hoffman, Margaret Kaufman, Sally Kaufman, Lola Lay, Samuel Monnet, Branson Motter, Jovan Strine, J.C. Swartz, Madison Swartz, and Samuel Thompson. Let's give them a round of applause. Pause here for any photos if you want to take a photo. All right, excellent work, students. Great job. You may be seated. Let's give them another round of applause. Next, we'll turn it over to the teacher leaders for more academic awards.
All right, 7th grade teachers, you can come on up. All right, so as the teachers come up here, the next award is our Student of the Quarter for academic excellence for each subject area. We'll do one for marking period 3 and marking period 4, and then we'll also do Students of the Year and Most Improved after that. So we'll let our teachers get organized so they're ready for you. Okay, so we'll do this by subject area. Please hold your applause till I call everybody up, and then we'll do a round of applause for each marking period. So for marking period 3 in math, we have Kyler Carney, Allison Bear, Caden Rubendahl, and Haley Hoffman. For ELA, we have Aiden McGuire, Jackson Garland, Caleb Brock, and Brooke Gerganius. For social studies, we have Josie Charnoski and Porter Owings. And for science, we have Madison Swartz and Lauren Fountain. Round of applause. You guys should all come up. All right, one last round of applause for these kids. All right, for marking period 4, once again, this is academic excellence for the 4th quarter. For math, we have Lane Fleming, Lola Lay, Mason Drawball, and Isabella Varner. For ELA, we have Judd Cleland, Kate Burns, and Scott Huffnagel. For social studies, we have Sam Monet and Morgan Colson. And for science, we have Sally Hoffman and Connor Graham. Come on up. One last round of applause for our quarter 4. Okay, for our next award, these are Students of the Year in each of their subject areas. So these were the students that stood out for the entire school year and really left an impression on their teachers. Our first one is for excellence in communication and social skills, and that will go to Isaiah Peterson. For ELA, we have Shelby Paulus and Madison Swartz. For math, we have Samuel Thompson and Lily Franklin. For social studies, we have Maggie and Sally Kaufman. And for science, we have Maddie Moyer and Lane Fleming. One last round of applause for our Students of the Year. And for our final year-end award, we have our most improved students in each subject area. These are students who really showed a lot of growth throughout the school year and would like to be recognized here at the end. So for math, we have Caden Proctor, Ty Griffey, Sierra Slavin, and Caleb Brock. For ELA, we have Savannah Hamilla, Jackson Porter, and Bella Varner. For social studies, we have Jocelyn Disney and Charlotte Barrick. And for science, we have Blake Etter. One last round of applause for our most considered. I'll now hand it over to our arts teachers for their awards.
So we're going to start with the band side of things, and we're going to start with our second semester awards. So for musician of note for the third and fourth quarter, I'd like to give that award to Amber Lentz and Tyler Best, and also Gabriel Campbell. And one more musician of note award as well to Mr. Andrew Breen. Okay, as they're getting settled, getting their awards, we're going to move on to the full year awards for band. These are students whose contributions throughout the entire year just deserved a reward for just their incredible what they did for the band. And the band would not have been what it had been this year without these students. So I'd like to give that award to Sophia Rum, Maggie Kaufman, Most Improved Student of the Year, Levi Lieber, and our Jazz Band Award to Miss Lucy Medorsky.
For chorus, for quarter 3, please come down, Naomi Works. For quarter 4, I would like to recognize Archer Redkay. And for the end of the year musician of note, I would love to recognize James Stanton. Please come down.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Goich. I'm one of the health and phys ed teachers here. I'm going to be giving out some of the other arts team members' awards. Mr. Miller would like to recognize Claire Loeffner. Come forward. Mrs. McIntyre, Arts Act EdTech leader, she says, Kaden Proctor. Myself in health class, Lucy Medorsky, come forward. Mr. Roberts in STEM would like to recognize Colton Kenny. Mrs. Grove, for awesome artist, would like to recognize Callie McKee. Mrs. Shover, Mr. Tiffany. The maestro musician goes to Connor Graham. Mrs. Wiggum would like to recognize J.C. Swartz. Mrs. Beck in World Language would like to recognize Kylie Singer. Mr. Policiccio would like to recognize Autumn Scott. And in physical education, Mrs. Riesinger would like to recognize Jacqueline Wright. And, yep, one final round of applause. Thank you.
All right, we have one more set of awards. We have some amazing athletes, student athletes here in 7th grade, and we have the privilege of having Mr. Penner come and do some end-of-year awards.
All right, last year we started to recognize a couple groups of people who are basically putting the student and student athlete. I want to congratulate you. It's not easy being an athlete, but yet having an A average across all of your courses is pretty impressive. If you could just stand at your seats, because there's a whole bunch of you, we'd like to recognize you. Margaret Kaufman, Madison Swartz, J.C. Swartz, Kate Burns, go a little faster if I can move my fingers, Jacqueline Wright, Sophia Rom, Josie Charnowski, Lila Howard, James Stanton, Samuel Monette, Lola Lay, Lane Fleming, Benjamin Bilbrey, Lillian Franklin, Madeline Moyer, Gabriel Campbell, Branson Motter, Laura Fountain, Connor Graham, Shelby Collis, Joven Strine, Morgan Colson, William Bechtel, Macy O'Donnell, Cameron Nenninger, Jocelyn Gaiman, Easton Whitmer, Gavin Ellerman, Caitlin McKillop, and Lakota Henke. Look around, congratulations folks. The 7th grade average grade for all student athletes, whenever we average it out, was an 88%, which is a high B. That's pretty impressive. We also want to recognize our 3 sport athletes. These are the folks that play, obviously, 3 sports. Again, not an easy task, but deserve some recognition for that. Owen Arts, again, please stand. Owen Arts, Easton Whitmer, Kayla Wentz, Madison Swartz, maybe, Madeline Rudisil, Carson Martinez, Riley Kressler, Kate Burns, William Bechtel, and Lily Barrick. Again, great job, folks. shout out any 7th graders who played on the 8th grade boys basketball team. Please stand. I think there's probably 2 or 3 of them in here. Undefeated season. Great job. Continue the great work in the classroom and on the board. Thank you.
Awesome. For everyone who got an award today, got recognition at their seats, any of you guys that were up here, I want to give one more round of applause to all of you and our teachers and staff. So a little different because we had the early release today. We do have a little mini reception for our guests if you would like to stay a little bit longer. And any student who got recognized on the stage, it is taking place in the LGR, not in the Commons, as we'll be starting lunches very soon because of the early release. So we're going to ask that if you are staying for the reception side of things, just stay put. 7th grade teachers, we're going to start to dismiss the other students back to the classroom. And thanks again for joining us today.